Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Bro. That's a crazy thumbnail. Oh my goodness. That's a crazy thumbnail. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Can y'all hear me? I don't know how it's going over on the YouTube view. Okay. Let me just make sure everything's going well. Oh, let me. Is it square? All right, cool. I think it's good now, right? It should be good now. I think so. Just make sure. Yeah, maybe. Maybe just a tad bit closer. Are we good now? Is it too loud? Because that is a thing too. It could be a little bit too loud. It could be a little bit too loud. This is the first time I've done this on my phone on YouTube. So just be patient with me. All right. Okay. Ooh, doo, doo. Um, what is this button? Oh, that button's not good. Okay. I think. Okay. I never did this before. All right, cool. Everything's going well. Anyway, let's get started. I gotta turn on Twitch right quick and then we can get started. Is that okay with y'all? Can I turn on Twitch? I have not did a lesson on YouTube like this before. So let me turn on Twitch. So this is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go. Put some comments down below. You know, if the sound is good, if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a lesson. I'm gonna ask you some questions on what's the best move and some other questions, and then you're gonna respond to me throughout in the messages. All right. So whoever is that over there in there, that's what we're gonna be doing today. But let me get live on Twitch right quick, and then we can get started. And my Twitch is H1 Chess. My Twitch is H1 Chess. Just to let y'all know. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What's up, Zane, Levi? How you doing? Hello, do you speak Spanish? Hola, amigo, ¿cómo estás? Hopefully muy bien. Eso sí que es. Your boy can't speak Spanish. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to be right back. I got to get the phones right quick and then we can start the lesson. But anyway, I'm fine right now. The mic is on my shirt. You got anything you want to say to the people?
Sup?
All right, cool. H1's wife spoken to the mic. Y'all heard her say sup? Hopefully y'all did. All right, cool. I think I've never done this on YouTube before. So I got a game for everybody today. It's a Mikhail Tal game. And this Mikhail Tal game is pretty special because it's going against Karpov. And Karpov was that guy And so this game is going to be quite legendary, just to let y'all know. Now, I'm going to be picking, if you say the best moves in the chat, that's what I'm going to be picking. And you will get a shout out by me, by H1 here. And so if you're ready for that, cool beans. If you're not, then I guess you just have to deal with that. Like, I don't know what to say. Anyway, if you want to see this horizontally, then go to Twitch. I'm going to have some music on over there and a whole lot of other good stuff. Whole lot of other unique stuff that they can do. Like they can make me do push-ups and crap. My Twitch handle is H1Chess, but you can just stay wherever you want to stay. All right, where's the music at? Where's the music? All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing? How's y'all day going? Hopefully it's going well. Southern Chess Spirit already giving me push-ups. You jerk. You jerk. Put some lo-fi music on. You know, nothing too special. Nothing too much, though. Nothing too much. All right. Cool beans. Turn that up just a little bit. Y'all don't need to see it. Well, all right, cool. I think we're good. I think we're good. Are we all set up? Do you teach me chess a little bit? Yep, we will be teaching chess a tiny bit. That is the process. So first, let's get started. And before we get started, where is my stick at? Where's the dang stick? The first question I'm going to be asking you, whoever's in the chat right now, you will get a shout out if you guess this right. What is the first move that Mikhail Tal plays here? Because we're going to be going over a game here. It's Mikhail Tal going against Karpov. And Karpov was a world champion in the past. Mikhail Tal was known for his extreme attacking ability in the past. So, what do y'all think is the first move? So the Chess Spirit, you're correct. Mac, you're correct. No, they didn't play C4 back in 19 whenever this was played. They played E4. E4, all right? And so after E4, C6 in this position, now we got a Caro-Kann. Now, most people in this position would play the Alien Gambit, but the Alien Gambit didn't exist back then, right? So after E4, what was the next move that Mikhail Tal played here? Bro, study marking. What was the next move that Mikhail Tal played here? Who was that? So Rob Kumar? Hopefully I said your name correctly. I mess up. That's just what I do. Anyway, if that was the correct move, that was the correct move. Let me just, I forgot to do this too. All right. Awesome. Anyway, so after this move D4 in this position, we have D5. And those are two main moves that you need to, oh crap, they didn't play D4, my bad. They play C4. So after C4, we have this move D5. Mikhail Tal actually played in an unconventional way, and I couldn't see the notation clearly. But after C4, D5, what else did White play here? What else did White play here? But D4 is just another variation that you can play against Caro-Kann. C4 is unconventional. It's a different way how to play it, but you can confuse the opponent with this type of opening variation. So what do you think here? What do you think was played next here in this position? You're the white pieces. You're a grandmaster. You're going against Karpov. What's next? C takes on D5. C takes on D5. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yeah, we're going to have to get that out of here. Ooh, that's nasty. Yeah, bro. Instant ban. We don't play that around here. Instant ban. Nah, you need to go. You need to go. A, nothing inappropriate. Remember, this is a family-friendly stream, so you will get an instant ban if you say some inappropriate. But you know what I do play is you pushing that like button. All right, on YouTube. You know, if you're on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Now, after D5, What else does white play here? I see moves like knight to c3, c takes on d5. I don't know, prehistoric. I need some more mods on the YouTube side. What else? What else could be played here? E5. Okay, so we got e5 here. I'm liking these suggestions, but that is not the move that Mikhail Tal played. There's a lot of tension going on here, and black is attacking the c4 pawn and the e4 pawn. So white has to respond to this. How does white respond? AKC, I'm glad you like chess because I do too, and that's why I'm teaching it right now. I'll be a mod on YouTube, please. Southern Chess Spirit, let's do that afterwards. I'll make you a mod on YouTube. Either way, it's going to transpose to the Panov Botvinnik. Yeah, that is true. The screen on YouTube sucks. What about now? What do y'all need on YouTube? Tell me in the chat. Do you need me to move the phone just a little bit closer for you to see the board? Tell me what you need. Like, I don't know exactly what the problem is until, did I fix it? Okay, cool. So what is the move that was played here by white? What do y'all think? Either way, it's going to transpose to the Panov Botvinnik. Okay, I already read that. Working now, cool. Yes, sir, we are back. What does white play next? Dude, if y'all don't guess if y'all don't comment, I'm going to sit down. Honestly, because there's no way I can teach if there's no participation. All right. So the person that guesses the best move is going to get the shout out. And Southern Chess Spirit on YouTube, you're correct. You're correct. And all the people that thought about this move, E takes on D5, you're correct. Good job. So after E takes on D5, C takes on D5, what's the next move? What's the next move in this position after C takes on D5? What do y'all think? We're in this position. We're Mikhail Tal. We're trying to think like a grandmaster. Thinking like a grandmaster is really important in chess. And I need y'all help to do so. A lot of people saying D4. All right, is that what Mikhail Tal played? Did he play D4 going into the Panov Botvinnik? It's definitely D4. It's definitely D4. It's kind of crazy. What if I said that is not D4 though? What if I said that it was a different move in this position? How long has it been since you last streamed? Is this Arthur's? It's been a while since I last streamed because I had a lot of family stuff and it was my anniversary that I spent some time with my wife. We went to dinner. I spent time with the family, whatnot. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Got some dinner. I think, where did we go? We went to the Melting Pot in Kansas City. That was a pretty cool place to go to. Knight to C3, A4, Bishop D3. I need some more moves. Thank you for the happy anniversary. All right, so the move that was played here, I'm going to give y'all 15 more seconds to guess the best move in this position. Let me just make sure everything is going well. What move does white play next here? What is the best move? What do you think? I'm going to give y'all about 15 more seconds. Where's my stick at? Because there's a lot going on here. There's tension between these two pawns here. Our bishop can't be developed because we pushed the C4 pawn, but we do still have a center pawn on D4. And so what's going to happen here in this position, we're going to get an isolated D pawn. And we need to know how to play isolated D pawn positions. In this game, we're Mikhail Tal, and we play the move, chess name, you're correct, C takes on D5. This is book. This is still theory. This is still theory. After C takes on D5, knight to F6, not them immediately capturing a pawn because of knight to C3 attacking the queen. And we have some other moves too, since they don't have the C pawn. So that, this isn't just like a Scandinavian defense for the black pieces. So they play this move, knight to F6. This pawn is usually a goner. But what do we do next? How do we set up our pieces to the point where we can get ready to battle? We need to get ready for the middle game. How do we do that? Queen A4, knight to F3. All right, okay, that's a developing move. Good job, knight to F3. White actually played something else though. David, you're correct. David, 977. Good job. So we have this next move, knight to c3, defending this pawn. Did we get a raid? We got a raid by JVO on Twitch. Thank you for raiding on Twitch. My name on Twitch is H1 Chess if you want to see this vertically. Not vertically, horizontally. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Let's get started on this lesson again. Now, the Final Fantasy music is my favorite. Just let that pass right quick. You know what I mean? But knight to c3, partially protecting this pawn, but it's a good developing move. If you can't think of any other developing move, usually activating the knight is the best choice. Now, after knight takes on d5, what happens next? And remember, we're Mikhail Tal. We're facing a world champion. We're facing a world champion. What do we do about that? What do we do about that? Yeah, it's not defending that pawn. That, like I said before, that pawn was a goner. And so knight c3 does give us the option to, capture this knight if we want to. And doing flexible moves is really important. But do we capture the knight, or do we do something else here in this position? Do we capture the knight or do something else? Knight takes on d5. Wait a minute. What did you say? Wait, I just thought if I got mod on YouTube, I'll actually have to watch on YouTube. Dang it. You wouldn't have to watch on YouTube. Just if you see something crazy in the chat. Just if you see something crazy and you got to be the police, you know what I mean? You gotta get your flashlight out and ban them. That's the only reason why you would be mod on YouTube. Bishop d6, bishop b5, none of those moves. Not knight takes on d5, not that either. Bishop c5 is not a bishop c5. Bishop c5 is not even a move. Remember, we are the white pieces. We're trying to figure out the best moves for white. We are Mikhail Tal going against Karpov. What is the best move for white? I'm looking at the chat right now, and I don't know what's going on here. I need the best moves. Make sure that you like the video. And if you're just now joining, I will repeat, we're trying to figure out the best moves for white. Chat barely understands notation. Well, if you barely understand notation, you better get notation straight today. You're one Wikipedia click away from knowing about algebraic notation. If you don't do algebraic notation, I don't know what you want from me. I'm unsure how pieces move. You unsure about how the knight moves, JBO? You're unsure about how the pieces move and you are a chess streamer? That is crazy. Dude, part-timers nowadays, am I right? Like, part-timers. Dang, stop moving in front of the board. That is true. I do need to stop moving in front of the board. Bishop c4, not that. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all about like 10 more seconds to figure out this next move. I'm about to give y'all about 10 more seconds. Y'all keep on wanting to move the bishop to like an active square, but Mikhail Tal didn't actually move a bishop here. He didn't move a bishop. He went pretty principled with this move knight to f3. Pretty principled. We know where to move our knights, and that's what he did. So after knight to f3, knight takes on c6. Now we need to figure out which pawn we take the knight back with. And this is always confusing for most players. Do you capture back with the outside pawn or the pawn that's already inside? Usually you're supposed to capture towards the center. That's one of the principles. Do we do it now though? Which one? B pawn or D pawn? You gotta choose. Or no pawn at all. Or no pawn at all. B2 pawn, B2 pawn, B pawn. I don't want to trade queens, so B pawn. Okay, right. And we're Mikhail Tal, right? And he didn't want to trade queens either. That's why he did B takes on C3. G6, they are fianchettoing that bishop on F8 to the G7 square. And sometimes H6, don't forget about that move too. That can happen. What do we play next? What do we do? We got a whole lot of moves that could be played here. What is the best move? We can develop a piece. We can take more center squares. We can give them a check with queen to a4 randomly. But what does that even accomplish if we do queen to a4? Does that accomplish some grand plan? Let's figure it out. Bishop e2. It's a good developing move. You could probably play bishop e2. He didn't play it though. He didn't play it. Definitely d5. You are semi not correct. All right. First of all, this is a illegal move. So when you put notation in the chat, it has to be accurate. All right. If I see this again, if it's super outrageous, your name is going to be called out. So not d5, but I think I've seen some people say the move d4. Miguel, JVO said it. Q1 is trying to justify queen a4. No, actually, he's not trying to justify it. He's trying to say that after queen a4, bishop d7 just helps them out. It does not help us out at all. And then we give them a target. And so after this move d4, white controlling the center, and now we got some future squares that we can hop into with knight to e5. Black plays this move bishop to g7 because even though we are 8 moves into this game, we are still in the opening because there are pieces for us to develop, and we still need to castle the king. So what is played next here in this position? What do we do? So we had one suggestion last move to do bishop to e2. Is that still a valid move now, or is there a more active square we could put that bishop to? Bishop a6, brilliant move. Bishop c4, bishop, okay. The only problem that I would see with bishop c4 is that if there's no immediate tactics, that bishop is a little bit loose. Usually you want to put your pieces where they're defended. And so bishop c4, you gotta now worry about moves like queen c7 immediately, and I don't know about that. I don't know about that yet. Bishop a6, bishop a6. Who is not, that's not a bishop a6. Who is saying bishop a6 right now? We're not playing, this isn't chess, all right? This isn't chess. You're about to lose that knight, though, because it's not protected if they play aggressive. What are you talking about? Bishop d3, Z, who is that? Zild? You are correct. Normal move, bishop d3. It's hitting these pawns right now, and it does not seem like it's doing anything at the moment. But just wait. Mikhail Tal usually works, his plans usually works out. After bishop d3, castle kingside, and then what do we do? What do we do? This should be simple. The opponent castled kingside. How do we get done with our development? How do we activate our pieces? What do we do? Yes. If the opponent castles, most likely it's a good time for you to castle. So we did bishop d3 for a reason. We castle. Castle kingside, knight to c6. We're almost done developing our pieces. This knight is on c6. That knight really doesn't have any forward squares except for like knight to a5. So, okay, no threats at the present moment right now. Maybe they could do this move e5, but okay. What do we do next? What do we play? How do we put our pieces on the best squares? Because in chess, one important question to ask yourself is, where should I put my pieces and how can I optimize them to my best ability? Because you're the boss and your pieces are your employees, and you need to know who's going to be on the cash register, who's going to be mopping the floors, who's going to be cooking the food. You need to know these things. It's really important. 17 Bacon, you are correct. Joel Sam, you are correct. Everybody who said this move, Rook to, you're correct. Good job. You're doing well. Okay. So after Rook to E1, getting this rook activated, Rook to E8, and then what? What is played next after Rook to E8? And who's got it too? Let me just name all the people who got it and who's liking. Fame Snitch, thank you for the you got that you got that last move. Thorsic, you got that last move. Good job. All right, what's next after Rook to E8? What does white play? And we're trying to figure out the best moves for white. And we're going against Karpov as Mikhail Tal, just to give everybody that heads up. What do we play? David D, you're correct. So we have this move bishop to g5, bishop g5, bishop to e6. Not the best move, but you have to punish this move. You have to punish this move. And if we're thinking about punishing a move, our next move has to be semi-thematic. It just doesn't seem right. The rook is even stopping this pawn. And then the purpose of even doing rook to e8 just, it just blocks the rook in. What's the main purpose of even doing bishop to e6? It really doesn't matter. I don't know. But white's pieces are doing well. And now we got to formulate a plan. What are we doing next here? We're in this position. We're the white pieces. We're going against the world champion. What do you think Mikhail Tal played? Bishop f4, surely h4 will work. Okay, I like the plans of pushing Hector. That makes sense. A lot of people in the chess world, especially that's new, that watched Queen's Gambit in 2020, do not know who Mikhail Tal is. But you are going to figure it out today after you see this next move. This next move is not so simple, but once you find it, you're going to be like, oh, snap, everything kind of works out. What's the word? It maximizes all of your pieces and pretty much makes all of your opponent's pieces really bad. Tal would play chess name. There we go. So Tal played this fantastic move. Rook takes on e6. And now we got a game. He did rook takes on e6. Once you see a move like this on the board, you probably will just assume that you're losing. Like if you was playing Magnus Carlsen and they do a move like rook takes on e6, you're probably going to think, oh, snap, I'm losing. So after rook takes on e6, f takes on e6, you can't just allow the rook to sit there. They took one of your pieces. Now we got to prove why this sacrifice is justified. That's the only problem with doing a sacrifice is that you have to prove afterwards, which sucks because you just want everything to just come about and you just get all the moves perfectly. But nope, that's not how chess works. What happens after rook takes on e6? And yes, the rook is 5 points. Yes, the bishop is 3 points, and we sack the piece for a positional advantage. Now we got to keep on going forward. I saw this. Okay. Prehistoric. You're correct. And for everybody that is trying to figure out who am I talking to, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Okay. Streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Bishop c4 is the next move. Bishop c4 works out pretty well. You're attacking the pawn. Major threat. Nothing too serious. Okay. Black was like, I can defend that. I'm going to do queen to d6. And then white played queen to e2 to pile up on the weakness. Because when we did rook takes on e6, we made these pawns doubled. And now black is going to have to suffer the consequences of taking that material that they had to take, obviously. And so after queen e2, knight to d8, and then what is played next? When your opponent starts moving pieces backwards, that's a good sign. Especially if we sack the piece. This piece, that piece, and that piece looks like straight trash, straight refuse. You don't even put that in a plastic bin. You don't even recycle that crap. That's just straight trash. Knight to d8, defending this pawn, this weakness. So you got two major pieces defending a pawn that's 1 point. Very weird. Very weird. And yes, everybody's getting it. Tsuru, you're correct. Miguel, you're correct. Tharsik, you're correct. Yeah. Rook to e1. When we see a weakness in chess, we keep on attacking the weakness. And so black is going to have to get their pieces developed. The pieces that they do have. And now this rook on a8 is on c8 and it's doing something. At least it's keeping the pressure on c4 bishop. You got to be doing something. We can't defend. Black couldn't defend the pawn anymore. Let's figure out the best moves for white because this is going to be hard. This game ends it actually ends in the next 14 moves. Let's figure out why. What would you do here next in this position? What piece isn't doing something and what piece is doing stuff? Think about it. Think about the pieces that is already having a job, doing a good job, and then just congratulate them. You know how you used to get stars in elementary school? That's exactly what you need to do. And then to the pieces that isn't doing something, that's the pieces that we need to focus on. Really important to do that. Bishop to d2, bishop e6, knight f4, bishop f4. Okay, bishop f4, that is technically a free bishop, right? Queen takes on f4. We don't want to give away our pieces for free. We don't want to do that. Bishop takes on e6. That is a free pawn, right? You can do bishop takes on e6, knight takes on e6, queen takes on e6, queen takes on e6, rook takes on e6. And remember, we're just getting a pawn in that situation. And we already sacked an exchange. So if we're not winning within that whole combination of captures, then we're basically losing. Think about the material count. We sacked the material to have a superior position now, not after everything is traded off. Knight to e6. Like I said, think about all the pieces. Oh, wait, it's a gamer. I'm so proud of you, bro. He got the exact principle that I was trying to show y'all. The knight wasn't doing anything on the f3 square. So we need to reroute the knight somewhere good. We don't even want to put it to knight to e5 right now because they might actually sack their Fianchetto bishop for the knight. So that's why Bakelta was like, oh, that knight isn't doing nothing. That pony hopped to d2. And so after the pony hopped to d2, Black played this next move, king to h8. Because at least if they take this pawn on e6, there's no check. And now what? What do we play? How do we increase the pressure? Increase the pressure. What do we do? Adrian Gardino, you're correct. We did knight to d2 to place the knight on a better square, which is the e4 square. Knight to e4, best move. Queen moves to c7, and then what is played next here? What is played next here in this position? We're trying to figure out the best move for the white pieces, and somebody is not even naming the pawns right. I know it's like autocorrect on your phone because whenever you say pawn, it says P-O-N-D instead of P-A-W-N. But I digress. After knight to e4, queen c7, what is played next? What is played next here? Where are the white pieces? And make sure that you like the video so that everybody can get this chess knowledge, chess wisdom, and chess understanding. c4, bishop e6, knight c5, queen e3. Who said queen e3? Queen e3 drops the bishop on c4. And that's the main threat of why they did queen to c7, is to capture this bishop on c4. Do we do something about that? Do we do something about that? Or do we just let that bishop takes on e6, knight takes on e6? Remember, that knight, even though it's all these pieces are kind of cluttered, that knight is actually defending that pawn on e6. Not the best square, but it's doing something. We got to respect our opponent's play always. We got to respect our opponent's play. Do I need to sit down again? All right, I'm going to give y'all the next 15 to 30 seconds to figure out this best move for white. And like I said before, the threat of queen c7 is to attack the bishop on c4. That's the major threat. That's it. And we need to like do a good solid move. Chess name, you're correct. A lot of people are saying knight to c5 too. That's a little bit extreme. Knight to c5 attack and then like threatening to capture this pawn on e6. But be patient. It's fine. That's just bishop e3. Remember, this pawn is protected by the knight on e4 because the knights can go backwards. Pieces can go, don't forget, for all the beginners, pieces can go backwards. So after bishop to b3, Black had enough of all this crap and he did this move e5 because you don't want to be in some passive cramped position. You want to fight back in chess. That's why this was the opportune time for Black to do this. Now, how do we keep control of everything? And what is our best move? We still is down in exchange. And the major thing that we had going for us was attacking these double pawns on the e file. What do we play next? What do we do? Do we need to capture this pawn? Do we need to push up? But if we push up, we block our magnificent bishop on this diagonal. How can we create some other threat in the position? Pawn d5. A lot of people saying pawn d5. No, it's not that. No, 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 no. We got to think about this now. And Patzer Gamer already have this correct. This is a time when we build some other type of advantage. And that's why White played this move h4. h4, magnificent, right? Magnificent, not even like caring about the two center pawns on c3, d4, hitting h4, creating some type of threat initiative on the king side. So White was like, Black was like, okay, you do h4, I'll take some material. Now you're going to have to prove yourself of why this is better for the white pieces. What does White play next here? What do you think? Prehistoric. You're correct. Who else is correct? This is a weird game. Yeah, this is how Mikhail Tal played. His games are really easy. He had game of the century in every single decade that he played chess. Like it was crazy. Rook to c1. No, rook to c. No, we're not worried about that. Hey, anybody that's saying moves on the queen side, that's bad. We're Mikhail Tal. We're trying to attack. And if we're doing this move h4, we're planning on doing h5, attacking the king. Nothing else matters on the queen side if we're planning on attacking their king. Because they can take all the pieces over here as long as we get checkmate. So after this move, h5, they took this pawn. G takes on a5, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't move any of your pawns on the king side because it just makes it easier for the opponent to come back and win. What do we do now after G takes on h5? What do we play here? Queen f3. Joshua Moore, you're correct. This was the move that was played here. Queen takes on h5. Queen takes on h5. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. After queen takes on h5, rook to f8. And then what? What do we do? What's the plan? Because their king is almost not exactly safe. They have a little bit of pieces in front of them. They got the h7 pawn and the bishop on g7. And Mikhail Tal knew that. And he knows that he either needs to get his knight to g5 so that he can attack this pawn on h7. The bishop can't really attack anymore, but he was really focused on this pawn on h7. This is the major pawn that needs to go away. How can we indirectly attack this square right here? How do we do that? Mac, you're correct. David Porbin, you're correct. David D, you're correct. Patzer Gamer, bishop to c2. Bishop to c2. And then after queen to e5, which was the best move of the position, we have to find another crazy move. And I'm going to give y'all a moment. I'm going to give y'all a moment to find this, like a good minute. Think carefully. Think about your pieces. Think about where you want your pieces to be at. Because this next move it's just a tiny bit wacky. You wouldn't catch it right off the bat. But I need y'all to be Mikhail Tal, literally, and figuratively. I need y'all to be Mikhail Tal, have his brain. F4, no F4. Mr. Gaff, thank you. Thank you for the follow. CEO The Key, thank you for the follow. And thank you for everybody that subscribed on YouTube too and liked the YouTube video. I do appreciate that. You know, that's something free that anybody can do on YouTube is like the video. If you can find this next move by White, you need to get your title. You're basically a grandmaster and you don't realize it yet. Yuan Fang, he got it. A lot of people saying queen takes on h7. No, not that crazy, all right? There's no automatic checkmate after queen takes on h7, king takes on h7, knight to f6. There's no checkmate in that variation. But what was played, which was a little bit fantastic, knight to g3. And when you play a move like knight to g3, the queen is attacking the rook on e1. But we move this knight to the g3 square because not only is this rook just loose for black to capture, but our bishop is eyeing this diagonal now, threatening mate in one. Queen takes on h7. And so black really have to think about this position, which you're probably like thinking to yourself, what happens after queen takes on e1? What happens? Which that's what he played. Queen takes on e1. You play your move king h2, not knight to f1, but king h2. And then we have this next move, h6. You have to play h6 because queen takes on h7 was checkmate. You got to defend some type of way. And basically, black is just banking on that this attack is useless. That's what black is banking on. That's why it is very crucial to keep your focus when you're in a position like this. You have to have your eye on the tiger, all right? All right. So after h6, take on h6. Are we taking on h6? Queen g6. Queen g6 seems pretty lethal. But remember, they can defend against checkmate with king to g8. So queen g6 is not like a final blow type of move. White played this move bishop to h6 just to make sure that there is no defensive pieces along the g file and the h file. Why not take the pawn? They realize, oh snap, I cannot take the bishop back on h6. So that's why they have to play this move king to g8. And guess what? This game ends in the next 4 moves. This game ends in the next 4 moves. What are the moves? Bishop takes on h6, king g8. How would you end this? Free bishop? Is it a free bishop? Oh, I need somebody else to explain. 13 Halem, you're correct. A bishop takes on g7. Bishop takes on g7. Rook takes on f2 because if king, wait a minute, let me just show y'all right quick. If king captures on g7, then queen g6, king h8, queen h7 is checkmate. So they can't capture the bishop. That's just a quick mating pattern that white can do. So after rook takes on f2, what else does white play? What else does white play? Queen g, yeah, you got it. Who got that checkmate right? Sunneth, you got it. Good job. Queen h6, queen h8, bishop b3. Bishop b3 is a check, but we need to do the best checks. Bishop b3 can just be punted with the move e6. And if we're not successful, they got a rook and a queen down here. We don't want to mess around. We don't want to mess around at all. That's why prehistoric Parman is correct. We're going to do this move queen to h7, which is checking the king and defending the bishop on g7. There should be a checkmate somewhere, right? After that move. After king to f7, what happens next? What is the best move for white? For white. Yeah, I was right the first time. What is the best move in this position for white? You're Mikhail Tal. You're trying to beat a world champion. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. That's what all of us is trying to do at this present moment right now. It is unavoidable. Bishop g6. Bishop g6 wasn't the move that he played. But Anel, you're correct. Who was it? Joshua Moore, you're correct. There we go. Queen to g6, attacking the king on f7. Queen to g6, king to g8, and then what is played next here? What is the simplest checkmate that we can get off? And this is why we didn't play bishop to g6. It probably would have led to a checkmating pattern, maybe, but they would have ran to the move king to e6. And then you have to think about, okay, can I still win after the king runs all the way to the queen side? But this is very simple now. We got checkmate in 2. Thorsik, you're correct. A lot of people saying bishop b3. No. Let's make this as simple as possible. And Jyar, I can't say half of y'all names. Harsha, you're correct. Who? Lisa, Isaiah, yeah. Bishop to h6 was the move that made Karpov resign. Because after king to h8, what is the next move here? Can everybody get it? Can everybody get this correct? What is the next move after king to h8? And this is mostly for the beginners. I know, you know, but look, I just got to make sure. I just got to make sure none of y'all is playing moves like bishop to f5 right now. You know what I mean? Like, I got to be very confident. Bro's a teacher. Thank you, Sloth Key. Appreciate it. Yeah. So queen to g7 is the move to checkmate. Queen h7 too. I kind of like queen h7. Queen e8 leads to checkmate, but rook f8. Queen takes on f8, then you get checked. I just like the quick queen h7, which is the kiss of death. All right, because the queen is right in front of the king, and so it's kind of like they're smooching right now. Anyway, this game was fantastic. It was magnificent. Mikhail Tal beat Karpov, which was a world champion, and this is why people feared Mikhail Tal back in the day. This is why. Nobody even wanted to face him. Okay, cool. Clap, clap. Yeah, he got clapped. He got chopped. He got. Thanks for explaining, bro. I want to play 2 out of 3 with you. Oh snap. Okay. Wait a minute. Now I can play some chess with people, but the thing is now, since I'm streaming on YouTube, I can play a few games on Twitch. How about that? I can play a few games on Twitch against people. My Twitch handle is H1Chess. I stream regularly and I make content just like this. If you look at my short videos, this is pretty much all that I do. Yeah, I'm going to end it on YouTube. Just play some people on Twitch for maybe like 20 minutes and then just go from there. Sounds good? All right. Actually, I could get back on YouTube, but then I have to shut off. You know what? Just for today, I'm going to do this again. Don't worry. I'll do this again tomorrow. Just for today, though, we are going to just move over to Twitch just for today. All right. But if you like this content, come tomorrow and we'll do another lesson. I'm probably going to play Untitled Tuesday first, but then we can do another lesson. All right. See y'all later on YouTube. Peace out. Bye.